The case that I'll be reviewing and summarizing in this video is the Hazelwood v. Kohlmeyer case. The events that led up to this court case began in the spring of 1983. Students who were a part of the Journalism II class of Hazelwood East High School finished their final spring publication of the school newspaper titled The Spectrum and submitted it to their principal for review. After reading through the articles, the principal found that 2 of the articles the students had written were not appropriate for the student body to read, and thus removed these pages prior to publishing. These 2 articles discussed teen pregnancy and divorce. The article that discussed teen pregnancy was specifically about 3 students at Hazelwood East High School, and although their names hadn't been revealed, the principal worried that their identities were not going to be kept anonymous because of the stories that were shared in the newspaper. The article about divorce discussed a student's father's actions and how she believed he was the sole reason for her parents' divorce. This father had not been informed that this article was written and had not been given an opportunity to respond. So the Spectrum was thus printed without the last 2 pages. 7 articles were removed in total from the publication because there was no time to edit the newspaper before it had been printed, and so all the articles were removed on the last 2 pages. The question that is addressed by this case is this: do students have the First Amendment right to freedom of the press in school-sponsored curricular publications? The students felt that the answer to this question should be yes, so they took it to court to attempt to defend the rights they felt were violated. The students who went to court were Kathy Kohlmeyer, Leslie Smart, and Leanne Tippett, 3 students involved in the publication of The Spectrum. They went to court against Hazelwood East High School. The U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Missouri ruled that the students' rights were not violated by the censorship of The Spectrum. The students appealed, and the appellate court reversed the district court's ruling on the basis that students should not shed their rights at school, and also that the newspaper was seen as a public forum, therefore the students should have the freedom of speech through the newspaper. The U.S. Supreme Court then reversed the appellate court's ruling and ultimately ruled that the students' rights had not been violated in the censorship of their newspaper. So in the end, the students lost, as the Supreme Court ruled that their First Amendment rights had not been violated. The Supreme Court came to this final ruling based on 4 main points. The first point is that they believe that students' rights are not automatically coexistent with the rights that adults have in other settings. Students' rights must be applied in light of special characteristics, such as the school environment and the mission of the school. The second reason for the ruling is that the school newspaper is not seen as a public forum by the Supreme Court. It was rather seen as a specific part of the education curriculum that was used as an assignment for the students to meet their standards of learning in their Journalism II class. The third reason is given in relation to another court case. As shown by the Tinker v. Des Moines Independent Community School District case ruling, there is a difference between the standards that determine when a school may punish student expression that happens on campus and the standards that determine when a school may refuse to support, fund, or give resources to the dissemination of student expression. Basically, there is a difference between student expression that is simply on school grounds and student expression that is supported in one way or another by the school. Schools have the right to censor those means of expression that are supported by the school. The fourth and final reason for the decision is that the school principal acted reasonably when censoring the articles in the Spectrum. The classroom impact that this court case has is mainly focused on newspaper and journalism teachers, but can be applied to all school faculty in certain scenarios. Basically, what this case means is that the teachers and administrators have the right to censor what is written and spoken by their students in curricular and school-supported publications and events. However, they must act reasonably and only censor things if they are against the school's purpose, not against their own opinions.